I apologize for the network issues at the start. So today, it is my singular privilege to introduce all of you to the guy, the first man that ever mentioned the Upwork to me. So Chike was the one that told me about Upwork for the first time, and then I was wondering, what is it about? What are you talking about? And if I'm being honest, the period he was talking about it, at that time he had not explored the platform. He was just sharing an idea or sharing information he got from a friend with a friend. And because I don't know, the Thomas in me did not take him seriously. And that's how he left me behind, went ahead and started cashing out on Upwork while I stayed back, still trying to see where they pierced Jesus in his right hand until months later, like 3 months had gone by. And my brother was making it big time. And that was the day I told myself, I came to my senses and I said, Doris, go and learn. And that's how he helped me through my journey. And look how far he has brought us. That's God, nothing this time. So that is a brief introduction. So when I say you have the best hands in the house, you do have the best hand. So I would even like you to bring out your question from your arsenal and fire away when it's time, because he is a teacher at heart. He will break it down to like tiny, tiny bits that you would understand. So please, I want you to tell the house about your freelance journey. How did you come across Upwork? How was it for you starting up a journey and all that? We usually like to start with storytelling, so the floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you, Doris. That's a really glowing introduction. I feel like Father Abraham, you know. So guys, my journey on Upwork was was born out of necessity. I'd been out of job for a while. I had a family to cater for, and I had tried my hands at almost everything, and nothing was working. And it was a really terrible situation in that time in life as a family. And I was it was about 10 p.m. one fateful night. I got a call on my WhatsApp. I looked at it and I saw two of my friends were communicating and they had added me to the call. And so I'm like, hey guys, what's up? And these two young men have been my friends since I was 16 years old. Like we've come through two times and seasons. And the conversation went thus. This guy was telling this other guy how his wife had made $500 previous month. Now I know his wife. She's not a rocket scientist. He's not an inventor of amazing things. How on earth am I hearing that his wife had made $500 the previous month? You know, and that was all I needed to hear. I don't know if you understand when you're you're in that situation where you can't get lower than where you are already. And
Yeah,
so to see that another person was who I knew, who I could relate with,
yeah,
who
yeah,
I had spoken with over the phone a couple of times because it was my friend's wife. I know her. Like I said, she was not like the inventor of algebra. No,
yeah.
regular lady making $500 previous month, and I'm here looking for like one round meal a day, not even square,
I'm telling
a little octagonal. And so I just quickly asked, this was the platform. They mentioned it to me, and while we're on the phone there, and then I went online, located the platform, and I realized that I had heard about the platform before then. I had started filling out and I
you.
dropped out. So I picked up
Okay.
from where I started my profile building, filled it out, created a title for myself because I was on YouTube. I was everywhere that night. And I'll tell you something that would sound like a fairy tale, but it's true because it happened to me. As that conversation was ending, because it was a lengthy one, I had applied for like two jobs and I went to bed sometime around past 1 a.m. ish. Woke up by 7, stretched, looked at my phone and I saw a notification. And one of the guys who had applied to had reached out and said, hey, I
Wow.
went to
Wow.
start work. I like
Wow.
overnight. That's how it happened
Wow.
for me. I'm going to be very careful at this point because I don't want to give you unrealistic expectations. It happened
No,
for
they
me
have
that
my
way.
they've heard my own story, so I guess even though mine is
Awesome.
33
Yes.
applications later.
Doris went through She climbed over 18 mountains, went through the desert, swam through the rivers before she landed her first job. However, when she got that first one, we're begging her to leave job for us now because she's on a roll, you know. So that's how that happened. Um, and over time, I have learned, I have grown, I have acquired a level of success. The truth is, the sky is your starting point, so you can never say that you're the dawn of the thing because there are people who are earning millions in just one deal,
Yeah.
one gig. And so I'll just inspire you. I'll say in January 2022, at the height of a lot of economic downtime in Nigeria, that month I got paid $1,300 as my my salary in that
Please
month.
give us the figure in naira. It makes more
So,
sense when we come back. Let's
Yeah,
work with 700. Though I know it's more than that, but let's just do 1,300 times 700.
yeah,
910,000 naira.
Father
exactly.
Lord.
Wow.
So that was what I got in the month of January. And I just asked myself briefly, what kind of job would you have to do in Nigeria to earn that amount?
Oil company.
Probably you have to be the
Automobile.
manager's
Not even
manager
just
of a
oil.
bank.
Exactly.
You have to be one of the regional African continental director of Dangote or something. You have to really go. And I did this working with just my laptop in my room in my house. It was at this point in my life I realized that well, not everybody who is awake at night pressing laptop with generator on is Yahoo Yahoo.
Yeah.
So some of us are
Very
making
true.
money
Allegedly.
working for employers who live at the other side of the world. Because my work hours was about 6 a.m. 6 a.m. is about 9 a.m. in 9 a.m. in the US Pacific time zone. And I was up 6 a.m. starting my day and working till about 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. was my regular work hours. So that's
Okay.
how my journey began, right? So Doris reached out to me and said to be on this conversation with you guys and talk to you about how to land your first job. I will be very sincere. Nobody has it narrowed down to an art. Nobody has a magic formula, right? Even up until this point in my life, I'm still learning every day things that work, things that don't work, tweaking, changing, adjusting. But I'll tell you what I have realized that works. And I'll do this in the hope that as you apply it to work for you. One of the things that people do when they enter Upwork for the first time, they are really romantic about the idea of making dollars. And they get so romantic about it that they forget to put in the actual work that needs to be done. You know, you hear this kind of narrative I just gave you about how I made 1,300 in January, and such an exciting thing to hear. You want it for yourself, but you're not able to draw the connection between what you want to what you need to do to get what you want, and then putting the work in the very little things sometimes. And so I want to show you the little things that matter that you can do right now with your profile, because at some point I would almost say that it almost rises and falls on your profile. Just to say, I have my daughter who is observing this
Eden. I
training.
see her red hair.
She's observing this training in earnest. I don't know if she wants to start working online. This generation, you can't tell. She's 2 years old. In case you hear any blah the blue in the background, that's my kid. Yeah, she's all around. So yeah, one of the things you should do with your profile is to invest in it. You can't you can't take a picture from your phone that snaps against one awful looking wall, put that as your profile picture. Listen, 9 over 10 of the time, when people assess you, they begin to form impressions just based on how you look. They don't know you, they can't tell your intelligence from from your name. They can't tell your giftings and your capacity just from your name or from your title. So the first inkling they have as regards who you are or your person or your persona is that picture you put out there. And I keep saying to people who I have twice had opportunity to speak with like this, invest in your profile picture. What does that mean practically? It means leave your Infinix, leave your Nokia, leave that phone alone. Take yourself down to a studio, take a proper picture. It won't cost you more than 2,000, 3,000. Take a proper picture. Let them airbrush it for you. Look good, look glowing. I initially didn't plan on sharing my screen, but I just figured if I was going to do this, then I'll just go all out. Yeah. Am I enabled?
I'm trying to check if let me check.
Okay.
Okay.
So if I'm going to do this, then I'll just go all out. Yeah. Let me see if I can just show you something I did once upon a time when I what's it called? Uh, yes, I hope I'm getting this right. Sorry guys, give me a second. I'm using a device I have not used before, so I want to be sure that yeah, yeah. Okay, I don't know what you guys can see.
You can see. Okay, you're sharing screen.
Uh, so can you see this pop-up platform?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So I put out a job post once on my Upwork account, and people started sending in applications for it. Look at this gentleman whose name is Ahmed A. If you're an employer and you need somebody to carry out what you
Minimize. I
consider
mean, I
very
make it bigger.
or is this small?
Yeah, it's small. It's like a small centralized.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to teach you sharing a screen idea or explain you would understand. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm using an idea, not something that I do often.
Okay.
All right. So invest in your profile picture. That's how we begin to know who you are, right? That's how we begin to know who you are. And so you can't use a casual picture with a busy background or one scraggy looking wall somewhere. No, you can't do any of those things. Go to a studio, let them pick you up and take a nice headshot of you, right? And put it out there. Ladies seem to know this trick more than guys. That's what I was saying. A lot of ladies know how to look all glammed up easily on their profile pictures. But I want to encourage everybody because not all ladies do it. You need to do it, right? So
Yeah.
get that done. Second thing that you need to be very deliberate about is, your niche. What are you introducing yourself as? Sometimes when I look at job titles, it looks very confusing. When I look at what people introduce themselves as, you will see virtual assistant, lead generator, yeah, analyst.
Data entry.
One, this is you. This is your job. It does not make sense when you do that kind of thing. I understand that you're trying to be versatile. You want to be able to collect from every angle. Maybe, maybe not. But you need to find a title that captures what you can bring to the table. And you also need to realize that you have the opportunity via Upwork to then create a specialized profile. So if you have deeper level skills that is beyond this general thing that you're just putting out there, you then can use your specialized profile to talk about your deeper level ability. So if you know how to do Facebook analytics, you can put that as a specialized profile. And then based on the kind of job you're trying to apply for, you now know what profile to put forward. I think you have the opportunity to put two specialized profiles, I think, and then one general profile. Maximize it. Another thing you should take advantage of as a newbie is you have the opportunity on your profile to do a video introduction. I don't know why, but people don't do that often. But let me tell you why it's important. People are about to spend money to hire somebody that they have never met. It's a risk. They are scared. They are wondering if it's the way to go or not. And then they have a lot of people applying for jobs that are just names and faces, names and faces, names and faces. But when they come to your profile or they come to your application and they click on it and they click your profile, they see your name, your face, then the video where they can actually hear you speak to them, right? It gives them an opportunity to know you beyond every other person's level,
Words.
get a feel of you. If you sell yourself well in that 30-second video, 40 seconds video, the chances that they would be more inclined to go with you higher. I'll add at this point that that video can be a two-edged sword. It can work for you if you do it very well. It can work against you if you gawk it, right? Because if you do a video, for instance, that goes like this. Hi guys, my name is Chike. For the past 8 years, I have worked as an office manager, project administrator, and enabling organizations to accomplish their goals and objectives. And I'm willing to do that for you if it's what you need me to do. Send me a message. I'm chilling. I'm waiting for you. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Right. You do something better than what I've just done, but it's really nice. With nice background, nice camera quality, because you know how the I mean, I hope everybody here is a Christian. I want to just say something reference to the Bible. How the Bible says that a stupid man is considered wise when he keeps his mouth shut. You
Okay,
know,
yeah.
they had no idea how your brain works before you spoke. So if you speak, please upgrade your impression. Don't tank it.
Take it
Don't
down.
ruin the small rep that we're giving you, hoping that you made sense. Don't ruin it. So do a video, use it because you need to use it. You don't have a choice. You need to use. You need to sell yourself. You need to put yourself out there. It's an advertisement. 40 seconds to sell yourself. Practice your speech. Rehearse it like you're rehearsing scripture. Practice it, get a good camera, get a good background, get lovely lighting, lovely ambience. It doesn't have to be in your house or your room or your parlor. No, go somewhere that looks good. It makes no difference. Just be in that place that looks good. Capture yourself and then speak for 40 seconds or 30 or 20 seconds if you are afraid of getting into blunders. Yeah. Do that and then give yourself a chance to get into the minds of these guys who are seeking to employ people. Another thing you can do is to then flesh out your profile. I usually will teach a basic thing. Locate other people in that category that you want to sell yourself as. Look at how they have constructed their profile, their bio. Look at what they are doing right. Copy the best of all the world you can get in touch with. Frame your own bio and make it look good. Key thing to not do: don't make a grammatical error. You can't afford to make a grammatical error. It's it's like abomination. It's the gods of Upwork will be angry with you. Don't do
You
it.
know what I just remembered now. There was one time I wrote a cover letter that was filled with errors that I did not even see. So you asked me to screenshot it and send it to you. And you were not asking me like, what did I just write? Like to me when I wrote it, I felt I had written the proposal of my life. But just one
Yeah,
glance, you saw errors everywhere. I'm like, how did I make this kind of mistake? So that's why I was smiling at those grammatical errors. It
yeah.
can it
It's
can
really
ruin
important.
you. That's how come I
It
wrote 33. Maybe 30 was error prone.
yeah, it's true. Because a lot of people say exactly, Doris. People say I've applied for so long, nobody's answering me. I promise you, if you are you will not answer yourself. Go and look at those. It's not about how much you have done. What's the quality of the
Yeah,
applications you're putting
quality.
out? It now looks like this thing is not working. this thing does not work for everybody. There is this thing with some people.
Yeah,
No, it's
the
not true.
algorithm is not favoring me.
The algorithm, and the algorithm will be like, hello, what's going on here? So it's important you look at those little things. Understand something, yeah. A lot of people that patronize Upwork as employers or potential employers are not from Africa. If I'll use that as a broad categorization, right? They're from what we call the global north. These guys are in the US, in Canada, Australia. These are the people who are trying to maximize UK, trying to maximize the online platform. Why is this important to note? Understand the quality of grammar that they speak. Understand what their expectations are. And if they're trying to hire you to be a part of their brand, maybe to do basic administrative things like check emails, reply emails for the company, then they see your cover letter. Your cover letter, your cover letter is bloody blue. It's a town hall, different. How? Like how? It's the easiest way to disqualify yourself. You
Yeah.
make mistakes with your tenses. Your sentences are not professionally constructed. On that note, then I say to you, go and invest in Grammarly.
Okay.
Go and invest in Grammarly. I started out this conversation saying people just get romantic about the idea. They just dream. They just see the dollars raining on them, and they want to be in that space in their head and not do the work that is necessary. I paid for Grammarly Premium. I can speak English in all humility, but I understand that the people I'm engaging with have a level of proficiency, and I want to match them as a professional. Yeah. And then my brother Polycarp
Okay.
says he has the free version that also is nice. Normally has a free version that you can start out with. That's
It's the
great.
free version I've been using. I've never paid before. So start, but
Yeah. Get Grammarly. Start with the free version. Use it and help your ministry. Do you understand? It will spot some basic errors
okay.
here and there. And then the premium version can help you rephrase some sentences, help you arrange your thoughts, give it proper flow and rhythm. And so these are things you should do. I remember when, and then another thing you need to do is to know how to go over and beyond, right? You're probably in a niche that you know how to deliver on, but you might not have a ton of certification to give you legitimacy in that niche. They're like a truckload of free courses. And then this is where I want to hail Doris because just like she has taught you guys and trained a bunch of you guys, right, along the things to look out for on Upwork and all that stuff. I remember clearly when I trained her alongside a lot of people as well, and I told them this same thing. People went and casually did, one or two or three courses. Doris made it like her daily mantra. Every day she was chewing courses like it was carving biscuit. At the point she had more certifications than me. I started wondering, is this one of these instances where you say the student is now bigger than the master? Because I don't understand what's going on here again. Like she did what I said to the class to do, and then she went beyond, hunting for courses on her own, getting the truckload of certification courses and all that. And you're trying to sell yourself. So these things send a message. When you're applying, for instance, for your cover letter, yeah. I mean, I can't take you through how your cover letter should look like because I'm sure Doris has covered it in her training. If you have not been to that training, then you should sign up for it. But one of the things you can do as well with your cover letter in connection with the courses that you should do and get certification for, beyond just having your certifications on your profile, understand that your job is to put yourself in a person's space. What if this guy does not take the extra step to go to your profile
Yeah.
and scroll down? What do you do? In that cover letter you have put, yeah, you have an attachment icon there. Send your certifications in that attachment. So the guy is seeing your cover letter and seeing the things you have attached to it. He's clicking to see certifications upon certification. You're selling yourself. So you're taking the market to him and putting it in his face. What if it doesn't go to your profile? to start looking at what did you study or what certifications do you have, no problem. You're saving the stress. You're brought it to him because he will see that cover letter. Do you understand? That's another thing you can do. Okay. And just to touch on your cover letter a little bit, you need to know how to connect beyond just talking on your cover letter, know how to connect to the person, get a sense of what the person really wants done, and interact with the person on that level. This is like an entire day's training, this thing. And I'll let Doris handle that. If she hasn't already, I'm sure she does that in her trainings. For you guys who are new, speak with her and ask her how to sign up for it. I really can't get into it now, but let your cover letter tell you, and let it not look monotonous and robotic. Let it look like you're a real person engaging with a real person. So if you have elements of the person's unique situation as posted on Upwork in your response. Okay. If I say to you, for instance, man, today is such a terrible day. I have a headache and I'm so stressed, right? Your response to me will probably be like, hey, yeah, have you taken anything for your headache? Please, stay strong, right? The reason why your
Yeah.
response came like that because you heard some things in what I said and you responded to those things I said. You made reference to the headache. You asked if you are taking something for the headache. When people bring out their job posts and they state what the challenge is in the company and what they want somebody to do, blah 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 blah. Don't just show up and say, "My name is Chinedumo, Chinedumo. I am this and this and this. I know how to do this and this and this and this." What are you doing? Like you look like a robot, like you just press play and you just start rattling. No, really listen to what the guy has said,
Yeah.
but as in read between the lines, then connect in your response. Hey, congratulations on your business success so far. It takes a lot of discipline and strength to get this far. I'm willing to join hands with you and take your, you know, if the guy has said something like, we have grown to this point and now want to break to the next level, we need somebody who would join the team to hail him for the points here, connect. Don't just go and
Wait,
rattle.
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I've read a cover
Yes,
letter
fine.
once where this kind of instance was made. As in, the guy said they were trying to build their business and all, and the freelancer now came and say, "With me in your organization, you will move to the next level." I'm like, the organization has already moved without you. So why are you bragging as if you're going to change the whole systems out? You're coming to learn
Exactly.
and add value. You're not coming to move the thing to the next. It will be moving already without you. So the choice of words are very important. Please go ahead.
Very important. The kind of what you're communicating across, you have to be very deliberate about. Don't just rattle. Some people get very excited. They connect, then they start
Yeah.
yarning off point, start going off point. CEOs are busy people. They want to read the first three lines and know if you're worth the rest or if they move on. So you need to ensure that you make wise use of your first two sentences, make it make sense. Um, and then I would say, don't stop applying, right? If you do all these things, right, don't stop applying. One thing you can be very deliberate about is to look for what I call low hanging fruit. Low
Know
hanging
what?
fruit. Low hanging fruit. Those mango
Okay.
trees that you get to. There's some fruits that you can just stretch your hand and pluck. There's some you need to go and find long stick to try and hit
Yeah.
down. Locate those ones that are within your reach, easy fruit, and pluck it. Because you need to do something for someone and get the person to now give you a good reference.
Yeah.
Get the person to say, "Oh wow, this was done professionally. Well done, Ijoma. I'm going to definitely hire you again." That kind of vibe. Look for
Yeah.
things that are within your reach. I know that you want to make the thousands in a month. You will get there. To get there, you have to start at where you are, right? Look at jobs, even if it's $3 an hour. Even if it's $3 an hour, apply for it. Do you understand? Apply for it.
Yeah.
You're worth more than $3 an hour. We're not arguing with you, we know, right? But it's important that you break in first. It's easy to get in, then start building your momentum than staying outside and looking to get $10 from at once. All things are possible to them that believe, but in terms of principle, yeah, the Bible says to him that's faithful in small, in little, then more will be added. So calm down for Jesus. Walk by faith, don't fly by faith, and let's take it one
Yeah.
step at a time. Let's take it one level at a time. When people get into your account and they start saying like, okay, this person has done 4 jobs or 2 jobs or has done a job, it's easy to be the second person to employ you. Because when I see that you have not done any job, it's a tough decision for me to make to gamble with you. Like,
Yeah.
what if this person said is not correct? Why don't I wait? Let somebody check the person first and let me see what the person has to say, you know? But then if I'm willing to trade that off, if I'm going to pay you peanuts, I'm
Yeah.
going to pay you $3. It's okay, I can risk it. After all, it's just $3. You understand? So look for those kind of gigs that are small within your reach, bid lower than others. You have to at just trying to break in. Don't be too desperate because we can smell it, we can tell. An employer can tell
Don't beg.
when
Don't beg.
when there's hunger in your eye like this, can
Please,
tell.
please hire me. I will give you the best. Please, I'm begging you in
No,
Jesus'
no,
name.
no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Don't come across as desperate. You know how you can really want something so bad and and pretend about while
Yeah.
you're shining your eye and you're calling on the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob to show up now. You're reminding God of all the covenants. You're doing all those things, right? But you're not letting it break up onto the surface. It's like a boy-girl relationship where the girl knows she likes this guy because girls are the ones that are the kingpins and all this. The lady knows she likes this guy, but the wise lady will not let it show, right? She's going to be around just enough to be rich, but she's not going to be all over the place in your face because it's a turn off. Be like that with your potential employer. Reach out, communicate strength, communicate professionalism, tell them that you're available, put your bid, but don't sound pitiful, don't sound Bambiala-ish. You have to learn the dance of the word, and be careful about that. Um, I will say finally, because I need to jump off for another appointment. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
It's
I'll say
time for question
finally.
and answers. Please don't jump off yet.
Hmm.
Okay.
I would say finally that I'll say finally that when you come across a job post, if it's a kind of job post that you can speak practically about with an example, do it with an example. I once came across a job post, but you have to be careful, and I'll tell you why. I once came across a job post that um was talking about the need for somebody to do an Excel spreadsheet and capture data and blah blah blah. The guy mentioned what he wanted. As I read that post, I quickly opened Excel, just drew a quick table on Excel, labeled it, saved it, typed my cover letter, and I said, find attached an example of what I think you need. Let me know if you're ready.
Wow. Wow.
So you know how you're trying to, there are levels of persuasion. You're
Yeah.
trying to persuade somebody that you can do it and you're speaking English, you know.
Yes. You're trying to, you're
I
showing
was
them.
born with Excel. I have a spreadsheet in my mind. It flows through my blood. You're speaking all the convincing words. And somebody just comes and says, yeah, is this what you're looking for? This is it. Is this it?
Yeah.
Let's start out. So usually when you do that well, the person's response to you will be, great, this is perfect. However, add one or two extra columns. Can you start tomorrow? How soon can you deliver? Because you've gone beyond words and you're showing the person like proof of what you're saying that you can do. This is the catch. This is where you have to be careful also. You know how they say when the food is hot, it's sweetest. Is
Yes.
I have been also in situations where I'm trying to create the example, and when I want to click submit, they tell me, "Oh, this job is no longer available." Probably the person who posted that job
Yeah.
needed to hire somebody immediately,
Sharp, sharp.
and so just
Yeah.
made a quick decision. and chose somebody from the cover letters that he got. And I came with the venison akara. I'm ready, yo. Where's my blessing? And he says, forget someone that's taking before you. So you need to, it's a balancing act. If something that won't take you too long to create, 5 minutes, you're done with it and do it. If it will take you like 3 hours, forget it. A lot can happen in 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say that, okay, Doris, let's do this. Yeah. Give me a 15-minute break. Let me know what I have in front of me, and I'll jump back into answer the questions.
15 minutes is too much. Can you just answer Jennifer's question before you disappear?
Jennifer, I will
is
multitask while I'm answering your question, but please ask.
Jennifer said, if you've been on Upwork for a while, doing everything right and still not getting any jobs, what should you do differently to get offers?
I don't know what you might doing everything right, though, because I'm sure if I look at your profile, I'm sure if Doris looks at your profile, she might see like 4 things you're not doing right.
How consistently does she apply? You know, sometimes people say they apply, but you not ask, they say once a week. Not shock you.
Jennifer,
Consistently.
can you share one of your cover letters on the screen?
Jennifer,
So
share one
let
of
me
your cover
ask you.
letters on.
Let me ask you, please. Let me ask you again. Are you doing everything
She
right?
laugh.
Not everything right yet.
Okay.
Just,
I'm just
checking.
asking.
The language
I'm
is
just
straight.
asking, should in case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So
that's the reason
what do
why
you think
this
you're not
that's the
doing
reason why
right?
this kind of training is coming across. Have you
Yeah,
heard
these are
something in this
clarity
conversation
sessions
now? Yeah. Have you heard
that you
something
need to
in this
work on.
conversation? Good. Have you?
I think that's what you need to do, because you know a lot of times what people have come to do or want to do, because I get that a lot after training sessions are over, people want to send you their profiles to review every single time. As much as I can review it to the best of my knowledge, it is up to you, because like I always say, your profile is a living thing. You don't review it once and that's the end of it. You always have to make input. You do the job searches, you see common keywords that the clients are always using for people in your niche, you see the demand in the market, you go back to your profile and make sure that it's answering the question to solve that problem that everybody seems to be looking for. So everybody's looking for the solution to cancer, and in your profile that you are a cancer solver, but you're not in any way addressing that problem in your profile, then that profile will not gain visibility. Or even when your cover letter makes it to the client's eye, when they come home to your profile, it is looking as if someone else wrote the cover letter while someone else wrote the profile. I had an interview once where after the whole cover letter drama and the profile viewing, in the course of the interview, the guy still wanted me to type live. He gave me some questions and wanted me to respond on the live call. He wanted to be sure that the English that I spoke in my cover letter, I can still maintain it on the live interview. Like, he was, don't go off the call, just stay on the call and write or respond to these questions. So you just have to, sincerely, I don't believe like you can do everything right and not get a job. It can only take time, but definitely you're going to get the job. So please, I would advise you to take time today, go through your profile, ensure that it's error proof, ensure that I have seen someone else that mentioned, say, let's give an example. Let's say that they're a copywriter, for instance. You say you're a copywriter on your, okay, the typical example the person used, the person said she was a sales rep. Yeah, she was a customer service person or so. Then in the content of the profile, there was nothing referring to customer service. Instead, it was now going towards administration. How can your title and your body of your not agree? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You're just like a man that says a man, then he's not looking like a woman from downwards. It doesn't add up. So whatever title you're going for, the profile description should be in sync with it. Make sure you're bringing home the things that the title person would do into the body of the work. So also ensure to proofread. I proofread. Sometimes I'll finish writing on my phone, or I'll edit my profile. I still have to come over to my system where it's all clear and be sure that there's no error by mistake, because we are humans, of course. And just in case Grammarly forgot, because Grammarly is not error prone as well. You have to also try to proofread what you're writing on Grammarly. I just try to look through the work to be sure that there's no error and it's making sense to an extent. I am constantly rewriting my profile. In fact, if you check my profile next week, it might be different from what I wrote the previous week, but always it's always in sync with my headline. Like, I'm a virtual assistant, as most of you already know, and in my work, you will see that I provide administrative services. Everything an administrative assistant does that I am aware of or that I can do or that I have learned over the years by reason of job searches and checking what the virtual assistant roles require, I learn and I add to my profile. So Jennifer, please just do the check, invest in your profile, get it. This is a summary of what Chike has been talking about all day for those of us that are just joining. So invest in your profile, get a good profile picture, make sure that you have a niche. Skill is very important on your journey, so make sure you have a niche that you put there. Make sure you do a video introduction. When he mentioned video introduction, I smiled because I personally don't have a video introduction, but I told you guys that I was on the verge of creating one and I can still go ahead and create one. So when you are trying to launch out towards something, you give it your 100%. So if a video introduction might be your own way of assessing that client that wants you to that needs to hire you. You know why I also feel video introductions are very important? Because random job applications, like there's one I applied to yesterday, random job applications, when they ask you for your CV, they ask you for video introductions as well. So if companies that are hiring outside Upwork are interested in video introduction, it's not bad to have a video introduction already set on your Upwork profile so that you don't have to stress the client. Once they come on your profile, they can go ahead and see your video introduction. And there's something about seeing someone for the first time. The kind of vibe you exude can just make someone like you or someone dislike you, because 100% or 99% of the time, people first hire people they like. Then we can now, because your face has to be likable. Now, can I work with this person? Then before you now start finding out what this person is capable of or incapable of. And trust me, sometimes if they like you, they will go ahead and train you. My very first real Upwork job, the interview went so smoothly. In fact, it turned into a conversation, and the icebreaker was just one fat cat. Trust me, I'm not a cat person. And because of the interview, the cat just came and walked by, and I was like, "Oh, your cat is so cute. What is the name of your cat? Where's my business?" I'm just ice breaking so the interview can go smoothly. And that was how we ended up talking about cats. And at the end of the day, Doris, we enjoyed this call with you. You look like what we actually need for this role. Just because she saw that I was great at communicating, even though we're not talking about work related stuff and all that. So please, if you don't have a video introduction, in fact, if you have not completed your profile up to 100%, that's number one. Secondly, edit your profile, make sure it's error proof, and see what the competition is doing, which is one of the things he mentioned, and ensure that yours is up to standard when it is placed side by side with the competitor's own. Does the length of time you've been on Upwork without offers affect your chances? No. And if yes, do you suggest I open a different Upwork profile and start afresh? No. So Upwork is against creating more than one profile, and I believe strongly the length of time doesn't affect it. Like, if you don't know or you're not aware of this, I set up my profile the very first day Chike told me about Upwork. I think I did it with my phone, and that was in November 2021. And after he told me, he went ahead to explore while I stopped. I think I applied for 2 or 3 jobs and I did not get any response. And I actually, in my mind, I wanted to work online, but I felt like it should come on my lap. Like, why would I apply and I won't succeed like that? Like, if it had so much potential, why am I not breaking forth? So November, December, your girl was not doing anything about my Upwork account. I think it even went into private mode. Yeah, for some of you that have been calling and saying how to switch on from private mode. So when you're inactive on Upwork, your account can switch from private mode to for public mode to private mode. When it does that, it simply means that your profile cannot come up in random searches. Someone cannot see your profile by mistake unless the job you applied to. When it's public now, someone can just decide to go and check your profile. Someone sent me a profile to review one time, and I noticed it was on private. I said, I can't access it. It doesn't mean the job she has been applying for, nobody has been seeing her cover. I said they've been seeing it, but they're the only ones that can see it. Random people that come to look for people with your skill set will not find you. So the length of time you've been on Upwork does not determine your success. Yes, but I believe consistency. Like there's no day I don't check Upwork. I check WhatsApp. The way I check my WhatsApp messages is the way I check my Upwork messages, even when I am not actively job searching. Like you know or you don't know, I am currently managing or handling 3 jobs. Now you wonder, why am I still actively job searching? Why am I looking for jobs? I am looking for higher paying jobs because I want to grow my earning power. So if I get a higher paying job now, I will sign off from one of my not so much paying jobs. So that's why I am still actively involved. But even when I'm not, I am coming on the platform to see if there's a new software trending for virtual assistants. Is there a new demand in the market? What is trending now in Nigeria? We know that old Naira note does not work anymore. If you have old Naira note, it's no longer legal tender. It is now new Naira note. So that same way, you might be going thinking that things are the way they used to be. Like now, it's as if Google Sheets, Google Docs, and all the Google applications are kind of overriding the Microsoft application. So if you're a virtual assistant that you cannot use the Google Workplace, you are in 1995. So I come online every time to see what is in demand, what is trending, and what can I improve on. That is how you grow yourself, and that is how you become the best in your field. Please, if you have your question, you can drop it in the chat or you can raise your hand so we know you want to ask a question, so we can attend to it, because we're about to wrap up. It's supposed to be an hour-long call. I don't want to make it overly long for those of them that need to rewatch. So another thing I must mention is that, like I was saying, the need to upskill. What I usually do in the beginning, if I'm being very honest with you guys, in the beginning, when I come online to do my job search, my normal job search, it's as if I don't see jobs. It's as if I don't see any job that I can apply to. But it's not a question of availability of jobs. It was a question of availability of skills. I did not have the skills to match the job postings I was being honest, because one thing there, like, is one that you see now, someone is always asking for Shopify manager, someone is asking for Amazon, someone that can manage the Amazon account. At this point in time, I don't know anything about Shopify or Amazon, so those 2 job descriptions are off my limit, even if that the people that need the job are looking for virtual assistants. So there's some roles or that require some specified softwares that I cannot apply for, and that is only going further to reduce the number of jobs that I have access to. So the more I learn, the more jobs I would see. The more I learn, the more jobs I will see. And the days I will come out, there are no jobs here, there are no jobs here. There are jobs everywhere. I just don't have the right skill to see them, because I'm sure if I go on Upwork right now, someone has just posted another job. In fact, every single second, a client is posting a job looking to hire someone with the right skill set. So don't just sit back while you wait for the jobs to come. Apply or start getting the right skills, the right trainings, the right softwares to be the best and stand out in your desired niche. Please drop your questions. This is actually Chike's meeting. I don't know how come I hijacked it. So my own part is to train and bring this call clarity session so we can ask questions to other freelancers and learn from their experience as well. So that's the whole essence of this call. Please, if you have a question, drop it in the chat box so we could respond to it. Because in the absence of any other questions, we're going to have to end this call till I come your way next Friday. We have another call next Friday with another freelancer that is making headway, Chinecherem Oji. Some of you on LinkedIn, if you're on LinkedIn, you will know her. So she will be joining us on a call next week. So please ask your questions. Mr. Williams, are you here at all? It is all like you not to be here. Please ask your questions, ask your questions, ask your questions. Once it gets to 1 o'clock and there's no other question, I would end the call. What have you been trying? What have you been doing? You don't want to get clarity about it. Please ask your question. In the absence of on the dot.
Sorry, I've been having calls coming in. Sorry.
Okay, it's fine. Do you have a question, sir? We're ending the call by 1 because I don't want it to be overly long. So if you have a question, either you drop it in the chat box.
Is Mr. Chike coming back again?
Oh, he actually left. Okay, I think so, but let me find out though. Let me find out. But you can ask though. I believe if he doesn't answer, it will carry it over to the next section. Session. Yes, that's what. You see, this English is not our language, so we have to practice it very well because outside the writing and profiles, when interview also comes, you have to speak like you know what you're saying. I have interviews where the client will be like, do a video voice recording of your voice. Let's hear if it's heavily ascended, so we'll know if it's a role you can do very well. Because I have a particular client that I receive calls for. So he's UK. He has a house, an Airbnb in the UK. So when someone wants to check in, guess who they call? Me. So most times I'll be talking and the people like, sorry, I have to now calm down and try to speak the English in a way that everybody will understand. And I've also had cases whereby I now jam my fellow Nigerian, but they don't know. And when I just heard, I said, okay, this is my person. We understand ourselves. So these things are deliberate. Like you have to improve yourself on every round, on every side. So improve the way your pronunciations and all that. The thing the thing is sometimes you might even have slip of tongue. I want to go back. So bring yourself back because you know the kind of clients you want to attract. So you have to be that person that can work. I'm not saying change yourself or start saying you get it. No. I'm just saying just make your words more audible, the one I'm not speaking more. Okay, so Mr. Chike is back. Mr. Ime, are you here?
Yes, I
Yeah,
am.
I'm still here.
Okay, so Chike is back, so you can ask the question. Mr. Ime has a special question for you. He wouldn't ask it until you showed
Ah,
up.
hello. But
Mr. Ime,
please,
ask your question, please.
Um, Good afternoon, sir. Uh,
what else?
I'm actually very happy that Mrs. Doris have been bringing, incredible people on the platform. Actually, I'm just starting up, and then there are challenges we meet along the way. Sometimes you have a job, for instance, and the client says this is what he or she wants when you're, you know, when you're trying to get the job. And when you get the job, he now says, okay, you need to do something extra. You understand, apart from what, assuming maybe he said you need to give him cap, and then probably giving cap, he said, no, you need to bring cap with some straps. You understand? And then you brought the straps and he said, no, you need to actually bring a t-shirt along the way. So how do because this automatically will not increase your pay, but it will just be like, okay, you're doing something just to please this person. So how do you cope in such situations?
At some point, you need to know where to draw the line. As much as we need to earn money. The truth of the matter is, some people want to take advantage of that as well. They are predators in the workplace, and you need to ask yourself, how far is too far, right? How much can you handle without feeling like you're being exploited? And you need to now also view yourself as a professional. The things that you're being hired to do, regardless of the fact that it's remote work, still professional work. If you're being hired as a graphics art designer, for instance, yeah, you're a professional in your own right, and you deserve that level of respect. And you need to see yourself that way, and with humility, but with firmness at the same time, engage that way. So if you see that this guy is going outside the terms of what he employed you for, then bring it up as a conversation. But be sure that it's not something that's a deal breaker, like, or be sure that it has to be a deal breaker. If you had seen that job post and the job post said, I need someone to bring cap, biro, and shoe and t-shirt. And I'll pay the person, I'm using this as an example, I'll pay the person $5 an hour. If you have seen that and would you have applied for it with that $5? If it's a yes, and now the person gives you a job and says, I need someone to bring cap, and then it's now adding shoe and viral and all that. Ask yourself, is this too much for this amount? Like, if I had seen all this, what else you have gone for this job? So that you don't, in the bid to assert yourself, you don't also extract yourself from a job opportunity that you otherwise would have still gone for if you had seen all this. So let the person know when.
What if the client is just toxic? Like client is just unrealistic,
Good.
and you've
That's
already
what I'm
taken
saying.
the job.
Yeah, let the person know when you're getting uncomfortable with the addiction. And it sounds to me like you're already getting there. So say, hello, sir. It's really amazing working with you, but like I observed that you are bringing in extra things outside the initial conversation we had upon hiring me. I think that we might need to have a conversation about the initial contract. From what is body language? If he's reluctant to have that conversation, or he's saying like, "Oh, really? If you're not coming through, then it's fine. There are other people who are willing to da 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 da." That's why I said to you, first of all, be sure that it's something that's too much for you to handle. Like you're done. You're ready to walk away if this does not stop. If it's something that you can handle, let your displeasure known, but don't do it in a confrontational manner that brings the person to a decision point whether you should stay or not. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Do you understand? If you don't understand, I
Do you
can.
understand?
Yes. I understand and I'm listening.
Yeah, great. So, I'll give you an example. Yeah, I once worked for a guy who was so bad. He was just a terrible person. He was so toxic that toxic people will call him toxic. He was a madman. His head was not correct. If I catch him, if if I catch him in real life, quote and unquote, I remove my Christian cloth like this, my Christian agbada. I remove it and fold it.
Oh god.
That guy, this guy was such a terrible employer. The guy had, oh my goodness, me with titled man like me with all my beard. This guy had called, which insult did this guy not give me? Hey, he had called me COVID. Imagine them calling you.
I never hear that guy call for
This guy
COVID.
called me COVID. Fair guy with his big nose like this, calling me COVID.
Oh my god.
It
This
was
one
such
is
a
very
terrible,
toxic.
it was a terrible
Oh
work
god.
relationship. It
Wow.
was a very terrible. At the point, I realized I felt like I was losing sight of my confidence in myself.
I can imagine. Oh
This
god.
dude, oh my, every meeting, this guy is blasting me all kinds of abuses, using vulgar words of all manners.
And you just be respecting yourself.
I'm just looking at the dollar one eye. One eye.
Yes, I'm trying to do it.
When my anger goes up, my bank alert, dollar account, I'll look at it. It will console me. But I got to a point where I said, no, I can't continue. I had to draw the line at my personal dignity because I was losing more than I was gaining. I was gaining money, but I was losing something priceless. I was losing my confidence.
Thank
I was
you.
beginning
Your
to feel like,
confidence.
yeah, I was losing it big time. I was beginning to feel like, I can't do some, like, is it that I can't get things right? Because this dude would, where's Chike? Chike, get your F, F words flying around like spirits. Like, listen, man, if you can't get it, he's like that. I mean, one time I slept, I saw the guy in my dream. That's when I knew that is enough. The guy entered my dream. Work has ended. The guy entered my dream. He
Tormenting
continued
spirit.
shouting at me in my dream, my own dream. I said, no, it's enough. This is not
Oh
working,
my
right?
god.
I had to draw the line at that point, and then I calmed down and I did a message to like my colleagues, everybody in the Slack group, and I'm like, sadly, I have to resign now. I wish you guys the best. This atmosphere is so hostile and toxic. I did that resignation. Then I compiled like video because we record our Zoom meetings. I like the video recordings of all those meetings because I was his administrator. I compiled them. I wrote to the Washington Bar Association because he's a lawyer. I was ready to, now get justice for that kind of treatment because there are laws, there are labor laws. That you're working remotely does not mean that you shouldn't be treated with dignity, respect, professionalism. But in this particular instance, this guy had gone too far. And I knew that I could not take it. It might not be where you are right now, in that they're adding other things to the contract. But you need to, if you're ready to draw the line, you need to ask yourself, what can this person do in response to what I'm going to say now? If he's going
No,
to
sorry,
say,
sorry to cut you. I know the case he's trying to mention. I know he's not trying to like go all out. But what happened was he kept on providing solution to the client, and the client was saying it wasn't working. He was willing to even take it on. Okay, give me access. Let me do it myself. But before he got to that, the client ended the contract. No communication, nothing, just like that. Like all the effort he has made to provide solution was not even recognized or acknowledged.
what
The guy
was
just
this a
ended
fixed
contract
contract?
and asked for a refund. Yes, and asked for a refund
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
guys that he did not do the work, and that was
yeah.
his
So
first. That's his first experience. So I
it,
don't know. I
it's
know how that made him
crazy.
feel. Very terrible, but
The things that you are sending to the client, are you sending it through Upwork?
yes.
Yes, yes.
Ideally, Upwork should have a conflict resolution mechanism that
Yeah,
enable
I
them.
didn't I didn't want him to push it because if you read, I read the conversations though, and I advised him otherwise because the first thing solution he preferred, the client said, I have tried this, or I'm familiar with this one, it will not work, or something of that sort. The second one, the guy said, I don't want crawlers. The third one was the one he didn't try out, or we feel he did try it out. Maybe it worked for him, but he acted like it didn't work and you don't know what you're doing. You know, that confidence, that same confidence thing. He downplayed on his like made him look as if he's not bringing the solution that he needs, and he
As
didn't even
if you
give
don't
him
know
a
what you are
chance
doing.
to. I'm telling you, and he didn't give him a chance to
Exactly. And
even
he was
to
being
recover.
very sketchy. Like I feel there
Yeah,
was something
like
illegal
like
about
scam, like
the whole thing,
yeah.
you understand?
Yeah.
So
Anyway, so just to let you know the reality on ground, yeah, there are predators out there in this virtual workspace. One guy had tried, to run me street in this very crazy way, right?
This
Where he said he needed a document type, and
okay.
I said I could. You know that story, Doris. I said I
Yeah.
can do it. Yeah, sure, I'm good. Let's do it. He said, okay, first of all, I need to prove to him that I need to give me a sample that I can do it. So he said I should retype page 12, page 15, and page 2.
Yeah, that they've given other
Uh-uh.
freelancers page one, page 13, and page 5.
No, I don't even think he mentioned that one, but worry. I put on my worry cap. I'm worried by spirit. I just realized that there's something fishy here, right? I looked at how many proposals he had gotten for that job. He had gotten like a lot of proposals. So I asked myself, so if he's sending all of us like this one by one to do sample, and he's sharing this thing to all of us,
Yeah,
when we all bring our samples together, he has the whole
the work is
document
done.
complete.
whitey make sense.
I
My,
tell you,
I said,
it's
this
go.
guy, his name is John Bosco. This guy is a Nigerian brother in this place. I looked at that name. I said, this guy is not a white. It cannot be. This kind of worry sense is not normal. So what I did was I did a sample, but then I did two things. I put a huge watermark on it with Microsoft Word, and I wrote sample big. Then I converted it to a PDF file and I sent it to him. And I said, here's a sample. Obviously, he says, no, take away the watermark, send me the word copy. I said, you asked for a sample. I'm sure this proves to you that I can get the whole job.
Hey,
Ladies and
this is
gentlemen, my
where
daughter
they will
has
start
poured
to.
That was really
many
smart.
things on the floor.
Yeah.
So people want to take advantage of situations like this, right? And you need to be able to recognize that they exist. They're out there. Sometimes people, this is something that I'm sure Doris would highlight in one of these classes. Sometimes people get jobs from one person, create another account as an employer,
Okay.
have one account as a freelancer, get jobs from one person, then take that same job, put it out there in their own words, and try and get people to do the job. In all this kind of no, not working.
Yeah,
No,
to outsource.
they will take this intellectual properties and then submit it to the guy they got the job from, and then they'll ghost you. It is real. It's one of the hazards of the workplace. You need to just be able to spot them early. You need to know how to have conversations in ways that protect you. This was one of your early gigs, I'm sure. I'm sure that if
Very
this,
first.
yeah, if something like this comes up again, you will smell it a mile away. You need to also know how to
Definitely.
drop. You know how they put milestones in fixed prices. That's designed to protect you in times like this. At what point do you pay me the first one? When I show you XYZ, you pay.
That's another thing that I don't know actually. Milestone, how to properly sort it out.
How can you
Am I
say
the
that?
one to be putting the milestones or the
Even me
person?
too. I don't know how to do that very well too. Milestone.
Like by exposing yourself.
Oh yeah, Onye, our teacher, please
you
explain
know,
to
you
us.
know, there, no, you know, there's some jobs now. There's some job postings that the clients will make that you cannot break down the milestones. I don't know if you've come across that. And I think in this case that
Yes,
women had, I don't think they broke it down.
yeah.
I think
They
that
didn't
it
break it
is
down.
enabled. It's enabled by the job,
Mm.
the person posting the job. But
Okay.
when it's not enabled, you just have to go with whatever. There's no milestone there. It's just a fixed price. There's some other
Okay.
occasions where you will see they want to break it down by milestone. That is where what Chike is talking about now comes in. What do you need to do before I pay you? And
Okay.
when that
Okay.
thing happens, let's say you are asked to generate 200 names of 200 lists. You're supposed to build a list of 200 companies in the United States, for instance. That's a contract. Now, if the milestone is there's a breakdown of milestone, and the contract is paying you $100 for 200 companies. To do milestone is not rocket science. You just break it down. So when I do 50, you pay me 25. When I do 100, that's milestone one will be generate 50 company names and add to Google Sheets. Amount to pay $50. Milestone two, generate 50 names, or you can do the remaining 150. Amount to pay is the 150. So the is 75. So the sum of the amount that's for the job is $200. The milestone, it's a bulk milestone. You break it down into smaller bits. For each bit you break it down into, you reduce or you break the amount as well. Since the whole job of you want to pay $200, when I give you this, give me this. When I give you this, give me this. And that way, you ensure that for every job you submit, you're getting paid. So sometimes you can also choose to go by project, which is to say, don't pay me until I'm done with the contract, which is not very, I don't like that one because I like to see reward for labor. So I want to be seeing my money, let it be coming, just in case tomorrow you wake up and you say you don't want to do again. Let it be at least I've done milestone one and milestone two and earned my money. So it is not a mathematical problem. It's a simple breakdown of the job description and breakdown of the charge just to get the job done.
All right. Thank
So
you.
yes, what else do you have against me that you can say I've not talked to you?
No,
So,
you're good. You're
Mr.
good.
Chike, are you still on this call? Okay, I thought Eden has carried you away. But we can
My
just wrap
sister.
it up. I don't know if you have any few words of advice or
Okay.
counsel.
One thing I would like to ask is which one is better
Okay.
off? Is it the hourly or the fixed? Because
So he said
Mhm.
that he wasn't going to do fixed contract anymore when he had this experience. And I told him that fixed contract are still okay. That this guy is just an exception, because I have done fixed contracts in the past, and one thing I believe fixed contract has helped me do, it has helped me do 2 jobs on the side while I man fixed contracts, and you can always outsource it. It is something that you know the people that can handle it, you can trust them. That's why I love fixed contract. And if the client is genuine, I've done fixed contracts 3 times in a row, and it all went through very smoothly, no hassle. So I wouldn't say I prefer this to the other. I would only say look out for signs that are not that not encouraging with regards to clients. Like if you see any red flag when you want to get into a contract, it's irrespective of the fixed contract or hourly contract. That's it. Hourly contract, you can also be scammed. You can also be asked for refund in an hourly contract. I don't know if you know, but yes, you can. If the client looks at the screenshots that you've been taking over time and they feel like you were not busy at that particular time, so clients are that petty, like idle time. If you are not busy with your keyboard or your mouse or something, you see them, they can dispute you for that particular second you were not busy. I have seen people's feedbacks, that the way people write reviews, job reviews after the work. I've seen reviews whereby the freelancer is receiving feedback from the client. You're going to say something like, this freelancer he did not do the work. She just turned on her tracker and let the time accumulate. So that kind of scenario, you can even dispute it and say this is not working. So there's no fixed contract is better than hourly contract with these few points of mine. No, it all works. Do what works for you. And there's some kind of niche you will be in. You can't even do hourly contract. If you're a graphic designer or you're into video editing, they don't do hourly contracts. Barely do they do that, because how long would you say they should pay you? So usually just sum it up. You know how long it takes you to design a logo. You do a fixed contract. What I know that logo designers can now go the extra mile to do is to say, I only do 2 revisions. So when I give you my first sample, I do 2 more revisions for you. So if you don't like it at that 2 more revisions, I don't know what else I can do. So review it once, tell me what it is I need to edit, because some people can be very annoying. You finish the design, you send it, they say edit, you do, they say, no, change it again. I don't like, give me the previous font that you put, I prefer. So at that initial stage, get all those things clear. How many samples, how many revisions are we going to do? And you would have a smooth job experience. Any last words, Mr. Chike?
Oh
Not
well,
like your last
I
word.
think
I'm just like, oh my.
I think you sold it on the fixed and hourly thing. They have their pros and their cons. Wills, they have their pros and their cons. Um, if you have someone who is really genuine, who is sincere, who gives you a fixed contract, my natural tendency will be to, and it's a great contract, because there's some fixed contract. If you don't check it very well, you accept it. It can take you, like 3 months to finish. It can be like fish bone in your throat. If you had worked hourly for that same duration of time, you might have made more money. But then, as with all fixed contracts, you can take on 2, 3, 4, 5. You can sublet jobs. You can, yeah. So you can do a lot of things with it. So yeah, basically, I'll say to you guys, yeah. Apply what you hear. There's a lot that Doris has taught. There's a lot I've said. If you take everything I have said today to heart and you implement, you will see a change. I'll say this again. I know what I told you guys today. You will take that one I told you today, your profile, the video, let it be quality, sound good, sound professional. Tell yourself in 20 seconds, 30 seconds, get certifications, you work on your cover letter, add samples when you can. If you apply this small one I said, not all the other things that Doris has also taught you, just this one also, you would see results. I think the problem usually comes with the saying that goes this way. Between saying and doing, many a pair of shoes are worn out. You need to be deliberate about this journey. You need to be very deliberate about it. You need to go over and beyond and invest in your freelance journey. It's not ballet now. It's not just soprano. it takes work. Yeah, it takes work. Um, and invest in it. So, you know, you need to, some of you might need to calm down and look at your internet connection. Go and buy Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Go and buy Wi-Fi. You know, like you want, this is your office, you're setting up. Set it up. Get yourself a good laptop if you can now. Prepare for it. That's how I approach things. If I'm going to make money out of it, then I would invest money into it so that, you know, I can get the best. I see, look, I got a swivel chair.
You know,
Yeah. I come down to get a corporate
I
chair.
invested money. I invested money before I made money. So I told myself, this money must produce the money. Like
I remember.
I didn't have an alternative. I was like, you have to produce the money we invested. So I don't have
I
an
remember
option. If you have an option,
Doris bought
you
a
can
laptop.
be doing.
She had a meeting with the laptop. Doris and her laptop sat down together. They faced themselves, and they had this conversation. And she has made the money back. It's what she has gotten returns on that investment. So that's what I'll really encourage you guys to do. And then let me say this: there are materials online. There's YouTube. There's a lot of materials online. Go. You know, fertilize your mind. Fertilize your mind. Look at that industry you want to sell yourself. What's the current technology in that industry? I thought Doris something that she started doing. When you see some job posts out there, you will see they'll say things like what they
Must be
prefer
proficient in.
what they prefer the holder of the post should know how to do. Sometimes you will see she'll be proficient in Asana, motion bot, that. You just see these things that
The one that is ClickUp, Shopify, Amazon. That's the one I've seen. Google Ads. That's the one
you just see things that you know is alien to you, right? Well, it's okay to not apply for the job because you really can't deliver on the job. And no review is better than a bad review. So
Yeah.
if you cannot do the job after the time when you're seeing it, better you just come up with it.
Yeah.
Don't jump inside there. They believe in you. You scatter the whole office for them. You back at the place. And then at the end of your job contract, they now write review. And the review, you wish they didn't write
This
any review for you.
freelancer does not know what he's
This
doing.
freelancer, he said, is not correct.
I will never hire him.
If you see this freelancer near your job post, run. You know, you
Oh
see that kind of
God, that's
review.
like your Upwork career will just end.
Just shut down your account. Just shut it down. Share the grace and go. Because nobody will see that review as if you see that review, you will not hire you. So it's okay if you see those things that are new, right? That you know you don't know how to engage, don't know how to do, leave the job. It's okay to do that. But what's not okay is to leave the job and then let your skill set remain that way.
Yeah.
Take it now as your new challenge. Take note of those key terminologies. Go to YouTube, Google, run a search on it, and learn it. So that the next time you see that kind of job, with your full chest, you apply for it. Because you guys were smart like that. You know that once you watch 3 videos, we become upgraded automatically.
Yeah.
You know, watch it, upgrade yourself, and level up. Be ready to take on the next kind of job that shows up like that. So don't stop investing in yourself. Don't stop adding value to yourself. You add value to get more value. The more value you add to yourself, the more value you can attract in terms of payments. You might start with $3, $4 before you know it. You can attract $7, $8, $10 per hour. Yeah.
And $40. Hey.
God's grace. Well done, guys.
Thank you so much for jumping on this
Hold
call
on.
with us. We appreciate
Final
you.
word. Final
Okay.
word. Yeah. Nobody can do this without the help of God. Very correct and very true. Nobody can do this thing without the help of God. You can do all these things. And if you don't know how to depend on God, just supply the rain. You can plant the seed in the ground. You can till the soil. There are things you can do. When you do the things you can do, haven't done all stand, know how to ask God, let the rain fall. That one is not in your jurisdiction. That one is his own now. So I don't know if you're
Visibility.
I don't know if you're religiously minded or not, but this is what I have realized that works in life. Know how to ask God for help, right?
So
Sayonara.
thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we have come to the end of this clarity session. I really hope you learned something. I always make notes when these calls happen because I believe there's no end to learning. There might be something you have learned today that you need to go and implement. Please don't wait. Implement it now and start doing what you need to do. Till I come your way again, I remain your coach. If you're watching this video and you're not or you've not taken our Upwork training, this is February and we have a training coming up in March. And we train you, we help you start your freelancing journey on Upwork, and would love to have you in class in March. So you'll see the link in the description box where you can join and ask the right questions and sign up for our March training coming up. Till I come your way next time, I remain your host for the Freelancer episode 2. See you next week. Please show up next week, oh, everyone. Bye.
Right?
Thank you, Chike.